this saying, someone's getting a little too big for their britches. My take is that I'm not too big for the bitches. So I think Creed is a really odd band name, because I can't think of any band that would make me less likely to believe in God. So I sort of thought of this new character. It would be Joshua Solomon, etiquette expert. When it comes to etiquette, I don't etiquette. That's clearly not true. I actually have more experience with Tic Tacs than with tact. But I thought, well, I'll try to work harder next time. So I've sort of gone through some common scenarios, and I sort of, do what I do now, the proper etiquette versus what old Josh would have done. So let's say you hear somebody using the squeaky machine at the gym. So new Josh just sort of turns up the Wu-Tang and ignores. Whereas old Josh would go, "Hey fucker, there are 7 other machines available. Just use one of them. I don't want to migraine while I'm doing my low intensity cardio workout." Another scenario is someone is passing around these joints of marijuana. I've never been in this scenario. And sometimes you don't feel like smoking. So now I would say, hey, listen, I'm going to pass on grass this time. Old Josh would have been, it is currently not between 60 and 80 degrees and between 8 and 10 p.m. And I tend to get really paranoid, maybe even like borderline epileptic when I smoke marijuana in that state. However, if you wanted to go half-seas on a Bacchio's order of mozzarella sticks, not going to complain. I did my sociology thesis presentation last week, and I decided to make it a little interesting and add some jokes, try to make it more enjoyable. However, they were met by the faculty and the other majors with a lot of silence. Now I know what it feels like to be Dan Sovall doing stand-up. Invited, I won tickets to a contest to go to this party with Kendrick Lamar that was sponsored by this sort of sneaker company, Foot Action. And I was very curious. So I went up and I said, "Hey, Mr. Lamar, can we find your shoes at Payless Shoe Source? That is where I shop for my shoes." And then he said, "Hell no." And I was like, "Mr. Lamar, I'm not trying to say that you're anti-Semitic, but you're passing up on a very valuable Jewish demographic." Last week there was a Joyce event called Orchestrating Orgasms, and the lecturer sort of asked the audience, what do you think are some common sexual fantasies? And I was very surprised because no one said Joshua Solomon. However, it got awkward when acting president John Chenault finally said that. So I saw Say Anything VC at a party, and I went up and I said, "Hey, how are you doing?" And it said, "How is he in the physics department? Can you NRO her class? Really, really want to hook up with somebody. Put down your box number. Really, really upset that Macklemore wasn't invited to play the spring concert. Kind of think that Vice is really corrupt. Also, what's your GPA?" Well, it's about a 3-point. Privilege. So that was my set. I to introduce somebody who's one of my dearest friends and one of the funniest comedians that I've ever known.